So just to summarise what's going on here, I've got 16.5 hectares of intercropping trials. There are going to be nine different plots with 7 different varieties, 3 legumes, 2 cereals and 2 brassicas. They have all been post-cover crop, been sprayed off and then had absolutely no inputs and won't have any inputs the whole way till harvest. The idea is low inputs, high outputs, see what works well, see what doesn't, see how they benefit following crop, see what's profitable, see what isn't, see what's a pain in the ass. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday the 22nd of August, out in the intercropping fields at the moment, just checking their maturity. I'll spin the camera around in a minute, but we are currently in the field that's mostly beans and oats with a few other different bits and pieces. So there's the beans and oats. They're changing, they're getting there, but there's still some green pods on the beans and lots of the oats are very green still, as you can see. Spinning around with the oats and vetch, similar sort of story. Still quite a few green oats, and let me find a vetch plant. Here the vetch looks readier, but there's still soft, the actual seeds. Beans are getting there. Oilseed rape doesn't have a clue what it's doing. I mean, there's some still flowering there, and they're all still very green. God knows what the oilseed rape is going to look like with peas. But yeah, this is mostly an intercrop of beans and thistles. A similar sort of story with the beans, oats and oilseed rape. Beans look the furthest ahead, actually, quite surprisingly, further than the oats. Oilseed rape still really green, some of it flowering. So moving on to the next field, mostly with peas and barley in. Again, very thistly, but that was not to be expected, and not quite anaerobic, but tight soil. So most of the barley is ready. There's still some green heads on the barley, annoyingly, but the peas are fairly ready. Just look at my hand now. There's also some mustards in there. They're still not quite there, a little bit soft. Just thought I'd show this difference. On the left, peas and mustard, and on the right, peas, barley and mustard. And it seems to be wherever there is cereals in the mix, there seems to be less of a presence of thistles. I'll just show you. So again, you can see that here where it's the oilseed rape and peas on the right. But as I feared from looking at the first field, you can see the oilseed rape is, well, it's flowering. The peas are ready to harvest and the oilseed rape's flowering. This oilseed rape's been a headache from start to finish, to be honest. Why it's just started to go flowering again, I don't know. So here we are again, you can see barley on the right, no cereal on the left, and that equals thistles. Ooh, pointing at the sky there, thistles on the left. But this barley's looking quite ready. I'll probably get a sample and just do a moisture test on all this to have a look. But as expected, there's not a lot of vetch. Let's see. I mean, fairly soft still. And then again, back into the barley and peas. Some barley is looking a little bit green, but peas are there. I think I'm going to take a moisture test of this barley now and just see how far off it is to see if it can be cut or not. Barley 17.3. Today's the day, intercropping trials. First field is being cut. probably going to be at least 2 weeks until we get the other field done, because it's just not anywhere close. So we've gone around all the 24 meters. We've done the tram line width around everything. Just show you along there. So 24 meters the whole way round, and then that balance over in the corner. Headland was pretty poor. There's going to be a lot of green barley seeds, but the balance of the field over in this area, the spot is easily over 4 ton the whole way through, so might have to take a bit of a view on it. Here comes Dad with some bags. The vetch is sat really low on the floor, bit of a pain to get off. Gonna have to put the header down a lot lower. Right, next up we got peas, barley and mustard. Fun setting the combine up for this one.
I don't want to see it, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you can. Yes.
That there, do you reckon?
I reckon you might be able to come in a little bit to the left.
We get into there.
Yeah, it's about there, I reckon.
Yeah.
There's something coming in the tank, I think.
Bloody hell, it's going over 4 ton.
God knows how accurate that is.
Right, shall I pull out and have a quick look?
Yeah, that's not bad. There is mustard, look.
Yeah, there it is.
But I mean, along with everything else, there is actually mustard. Well, hey. So that is peas, barley and mustard plot finished. Just going in the tank. Probably never see a worse sample in your life. I'll just show you that in a second. Peas and mustard. There's actually quite a bit of mustard in here, surprisingly. It's good to see. Last plot to go is the peas and oilseed rape. Although most of the rape is green, there is some ready pods.
So they're no good like this, they're too far off.
So we decided against putting them in the bags. Instead we are going to put them on the shed on the floor. Barley and vetch there with a few peas in it. Just because too much green stuff in it basically. So normally you would spray it all off if you had plenty of green bits and pieces in it, but as this is no input trials, not allowed to be sprayed off. So a bit of a faff around, but it's trials work, it's what you have to do. So I'll just show you that on the floors now, and hopefully it'll dry and not heat up and turn into compost. So this is the plan at the moment. Just going to leave it all in the shed, about a foot deep, hopefully that means it'll all dry out, because obviously having to have the sieves wide open. Peas, barley, mustard there. You do get a lot of trash in there. But really happy with the amount of mustard in this. It'll be worth a bit of money. And oilseed rape. How much oilseed rape's in there? Probably not a lot, but a lot of thistles, so I have to go empty the tank a little bit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trial plots done. Hopefully all on the ground, hopefully drying out, hopefully not heating up. Bit of a pain with the amount of weeds and thistles and stuff, and no option for desiccation, that it comes in so wet with all the trash, but it's one of them, got to take things into account. Pea barley, pea barley mustard, what we here, peas, oilseed rape, or should I say peas thistles. This is peas mustard, and then finally the cleanest with the highest cereal content, barley vetch. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Just thought I'd mention the overall yield has come in about 3.2 tons roughly. So we'll see what that works out as for the individual plots. Don't really know what's left and how much of that is thistles and stuff. Did do some drone footage as well, but video was too long, so I haven't chucked it in. I'll do a separate video with the next field whenever that gets harvested, and I'll try and put a lot of the results into that one as well, and also how we set up the combine when we've got multiple seeds, because I've had a few questions on that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, and the peas and barley behind me did start to get a little bit warm because of all the trash, because it was on the headland, but it's all good now.